Hey guys, welcome back to 11 Yanks Breakdown, where we discuss all things USMNT. I'm Pete Dalvett, and today we are discussing Gregg Berhalter's European-based USMNT roster for the November friendlies. Alright, so we still have no final word on if these friendlies in November are even happening, or if they are happening, who they're playing against. There was some rumor that they would be playing against Wales, who was their original opponent back in the March friendlies that got canceled right before COVID. But we don't know. Either way, this is an interesting exercise in looking at what a completely European-based USMNT roster would look like. Trying to make up this roster was an incredible experience because it just highlighted what we all kind of already know, and that is the amount of young players playing in Europe now. Okay, so we're going to look at this roster in terms of what Gregg Berhalter would do, but I'm also going to add some players of my own that I think might be better options, or who are guys that I think should be looked at and who have a lot of potential. But before we get into it, guys, smash that subscribe button, smash that like button. It helps people find us. Here we go. All right, so starting with goalkeepers, and this isn't really that hard because we don't have a lot of goalkeepers in Europe right now. Zack Steffen is the clear number one. Ethan Horvath is the number two. I hope to God he can get out of Club Brugge and find a place where he can be number one, because he's not going to beat out Simon Mignolet. And the third goalkeeper for me would be Chituru Odunze, the American, Nigerian, English tri-national, I guess you would call it. He played for us in the Under-17 World Cup. He's currently with Leicester's Under-23s. I think those are our three goalkeepers. Some other guys to keep an eye on would be Damian Las, who also played the U17 World Cup, currently with Fulham's youth teams, and CJ Dos Santos, who plays in Portugal. As far as the defense goes, I think this is the squad that Gregg Berhalter brings. It's fairly balanced. Yes, we have three right backs, but Sergino Dest can cover at left back. Only one left back in Anthony Robinson. Hopefully he can get some game time at Fulham, but Tim Weah and Sergino Dest can both cover him. John Brooks and Tim Weah are the left-sided, left-footed center backs, and Matt Miazga and Chris Richards are the right-footed center backs who play on the right-hand side. Chris Richards is young. I know he hasn't played a lot for Bayern Munich, but he's got a lot of potential. I think you bring him in. This guy could be our starter at Qatar 22. So bring him in now, give him experience, get him used to the system. Always for that. Some other guys that might be looked at are Cameron Carter-Vickers and Eric Palmer-Brown. Both of them have had good seasons. Both of them are young. They show some potential. Cameron Carter-Vickers isn't that great with his feet, so I don't know if Gregg Berhalter rates him that highly, but he keeps calling in Aaron Long, who can't play with his feet. So I think there's a chance he could call in CCV or EPB. We really do need more center backs, but keep an eye on Owen Odesawi at Wolves and Leo Sepulveda, who plays in Spain. Both of them are young, both are dual nationals, and both of them could end up playing for the USMNT. Now, midfield is where it gets really interesting because we have a lot of young players in Europe. This is who I think he calls in. I think Tyler Adams and Alfredo Morales play at the 6. I think that Weston McKennie and Dwayne Holmes play at the 8. And Gio Reyna and Richie Ledesma play at the 8. Now, I know Gio Reyna can play as a winger, but he's going to play as a 10 for Dortmund, it looks like. And we really do need a 10, so I'm happy to have him there. Richie Ledesma has started to show some growth with PSV. Hopefully he can make his debut for the senior team because he's a really talented midfielder. Dwayne Holmes has been up and down for Derby, but I think he's a good backup to Weston McKennie. And Alfredo Morales is somebody that Gregg Berhalter has called in the past. He's a hard-working defensive midfielder who will put in a tough tackle, even if he isn't quite as good with his feet as some people would like. Alex Mendez and Julian Green are some of the other options that I think he could call in. For me, Alex Mendez is 20 years old now, and he still hasn't cracked the starting lineup at Ajax's youth team. Like, he's not a regular starter for them. So I don't know if Alex Mendez is going to make it at that level. I think he's really good on the ball, but he still needs to do a lot more work defensively. Julian Green, for me, has been a good, solid midfielder, plays in the second Bundesliga. He's decent, but he's in his prime. He's in his mid-20s now. This is about his ceiling. I don't think he's going to get much better. I wouldn't have a problem calling him in, but I'd rather look at some of the younger dual national guys and see what they can offer to this team. The change that I would make is to bring out Alfredo Morales and bring in Christopher Durkin, who plays for St. Truden in Belgium. Now, he is a 6 more in the mold of Gregg Berhalter's style, a ball-playing 6, but he's also been really good in Belgium at the defensive side of the position. So I'd bring him in, let him back up Tyler Adams there. Alfredo Morales is 30 years old. he's not going to get much better. I'd rather look at Chris Durkin, see what he can offer. Remember, it is just a friendly. Forwards is where we're really stacked. You got Pulisic on the left, Uli Yanez on the left. You got Conrad De La Fuente and Tyler Boyd on the right. Josh Sargent and Tim Weah up front. Now I know that Tim Weah can play on the wing. He can also play on the 10, but we're very thin up top, so I would bring Weah for that position. Sargent looks like he's going to have a good season at Bremen, so keep an eye on him. Uli Yanez, guys, needs to get out of Wolfsburg and go play. Wolfsburg has decided, for whatever reason, that he's not quite good enough. There was rumors of him going to Heerenveen in the Eredivisie. I hope he goes there. He needs to be playing. Update, guys, I recorded this video on Sunday the 13th, and as of today, Tuesday the 15th, that loan has been finalized. Uli Yanez has not only signed a contract with Wolfsburg to 2024, he's also gone on a season-long loan to Heerenveen in the Eredivisie. It's a great move for him. He's gonna play, and he is going to show the world what he can do. Keep an eye on this young man. Cameron Harper is another guy that Gregg Berhalter might bring in. He reportedly really liked him when he saw him at a U20 camp last year. He plays for Celtic, hasn't made his professional debut yet, but apparently has a lot of potential. I don't want to comment too much on him because I've never actually seen him play. Conrad De La Fuente, we all saw him last year at the U20 World Cup where he was not great, but he was only 17. He's reportedly made a lot of progress with Barca. He played in a friendly with the Barca first team last week. That's the first American to ever appear in a Barcelona senior team game. Yes, he hasn't made his debut yet, but I would bring him in. He's dual national. We saw how Barcelona railroaded Ansu Fati into their lineup. So why not bring Conrad De La Fuente in and make him feel like part of this group? Some people will be clamoring for Andrija Novakovic and Aaron Johansson to be included. Guys, I don't know what to say. Neither of them is good enough at this stage of their careers. Novakovic has been playing in the Italian second division where he's been okay, but that's a league that's worse than MLS. We can't call in guys who are only doing okay in a very subpar league. Aaron Johansson finally has come back from injury. Will he stay fit? I don't know. He's 30 years old. He's playing in the Swedish league. Guys, come on. We need to move on from these kind of guys. Let's give the reins to Josh Sargent and Tim Weah and see what they can do. And we have Josie Altidore and Jesse Zardes back at home. This would be my starting lineup. Zack Steffen in goal, Sergino Dest, Chris Richards, John Brooks, and Anthony Robinson as our back four. The great midfield trio of Adams at the 6, McKennie as box-to-box, and Reyna at the attacking 10. Pulisic left, Yanez right. Yanez can play on both wings, and he looked really good against Costa Rica in that January friendly. I like him a lot. I think he's got a very high ceiling. I want to see him start. Sargent up top. Coming off the bench, I would bring on Tim Weah, Ethan Horvath, Matt Miazga, Reggie Cannon, Richie Ledesma, and Conrad De La Fuente. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. As always, hit me up with your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear from you. Who would you start? Who would be in this roster for you? I will respond. Check out some of our other videos. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you guys next Tuesday.